Hi, my name is Michelle Chambers, and I'm a parent of a student here at LearningRx. My son Cole is 10 years old, and he started when he was 9 years old. And I brought him to LearningRx because we'd had several different issues. We started out a couple of years ago in some behavioral counseling to help him with anxiety issues, and then we moved into doing some occupational therapy because we learned through testing that he had fluency and praxis and some rhythm issues, and he went through about 9 months of occupational therapy. And when we were done with that, I really wanted to have him assessed and looked at from a skills development perspective, from an academic perspective, and really understand if these issues had held him back in any areas, and then really give him the tools to be able to achieve everything that I knew that he was possible of achieving, and help him feel a lot more comfortable and confident in himself. So I brought him to LearningRx, which I had met Dr. Vicki Parker, through a business networking group, and had learned a little bit about LearningRx, and had come to one of the brain training sessions that she holds here, and discovered it wasn't so easy to actually go through the test and everything, and that I thought everybody could benefit from it. So I brought him in, and we assessed him, and it was terrific for me because I'm somebody who I like information, and I could see very clearly where he performed well, where he functioned well, and that matched with my own experiences as a parent. And then it helped me to have insights. For instance, in his case, his short-term memory is exceptionally strong, and yet things like comprehension he would do well with, and it was because he had strong logic and reasoning. Yet it helped me to understand how when he didn't pick up on something real easily, he would get very frustrated, and that would come out in terms of behavior. And part of that was because his long-term memory isn't quite as strong, and it's hard for him and very frustrating for him when he knows he's learned something, yet he can't recall it instantly because he's used to being able to pick up things instantly. Through the assessment testing, we also discovered that while my son's extremely bright in most areas, he really was struggling with auditory processing issues. So everything in terms of the skills that you need to read very effectively were really low, 15 to 25 percentile, where a lot of the other things he was in the top 1 or 5% in the country. And so that meant that he was dyslexic, and that was an issue I really wasn't anticipating, but it was great that I had the information to be able to do something about it. So we started the program here at LearningRx, and I really liked the program because it took him back to the very fundamentals of why he wasn't able to read. He wasn't able to sound things through. He wasn't able to hear the differences in sounds. And so by going back and starting at the very fundamental level with him, he was able to build up those skills, get the experiences he needed to be able to hear the information correctly and therefore process it. So it took him a little while to get through some of the fundamentals, but then once he did that, he really made huge strides in progress. So my son had never, even though I read to him every single night, he had never ever picked up a book of his own volition. And about halfway through the program, I actually caught him reading a book in the bathroom while I was waiting to take a bath. And that had, in 9.5 years, had never ever happened before. So I was absolutely thrilled with just that. It would seem like small progress, but to us was a huge step forward. My son started 4th grade this year, and he is now reading books that are 200 pages long, and it's not torture, and we don't have the disagreements and the arguments and the fussing and fighting over reading and doing homework like we used to. So life around the house has become a lot more tranquil, which is great, and he just has grown, and his confidence is just amazingly different. I just had his parent-teacher conference yesterday, and his teacher said that he is participating in class, which he always participated in math because that's his strongest subject area, but now he's participating in grammar, he's participating in spelling, he's participating in history. So he actually puts his hand up and he speaks out in class because he knows that he knows how to learn, and he has tools that help him to process information and to be able to recall information. And it's really interesting to me, even his vocabulary changed. I mean, he talks about what are the strategies that he's going to use to make something easier to learn or to memorize it or to retain the information. So the program, I think about it as a tornado where you have to sort of start out small and it kind of keeps growing and building momentum. And we've been in the program for 6 months, and first of all, the tornado accelerated a lot faster than I ever anticipated, and he's just made monumental strides. And I think now that we're done with the program, that's not the end of it. I think he'll continue to just grow and accelerate his learning and his ability to process information because of the program. So that's, and I recommend the program to people all the time. So I'm somebody who's a really strong advocate for the program, and I've talked to my doctors, his pediatricians about it, to his counselors about it, to other parents, because the more I talk with people, the more I find that people today have a lot of the same kind of issues with their children, and most people don't know where to start. And in hindsight, this probably would have been one of the first places I would have come to, because it would have given me some really tangible benefits very quickly. But I think that for everybody, you have to figure out what's the best path for your child to go down. And LearningRx has just been one of the most positive experiences for my son overall. So I thank LearningRx.
This is Cole, a recent graduate of a LearningRx program, and he is going to talk a little bit about his LearningRx experience. Cole, what were some things that were hard for you before you started LearningRx that have become easier since you've been in the program?
Well, I know reading has gotten easier, and I'm not sure what it's called. The thing with the puzzle pieces.
Okay. That's gotten easier?
Yeah.
Okay. What are some things that at school, you said reading got easier, was there anything else that you think you're better at in school or at home?
Well, there's a game that I play sometimes where I have to spot out the color of the word. I think I got better at that.
Cool. What was your favorite part about LearningRx? The activities and all the things that you did, what did you like the most?
I liked golf and the things with the cards with different shapes on them.
Okay.
And the puzzle pieces.
Okay. What do you think you've improved upon the most? Like, if you had to say what's your biggest improvement since coming here, what would you say it was?
Probably reading.
Tell me some things about your reading.
Well, before I've improved a lot on my speed and how to sound out words.
Okay. Pretty good. So did you enjoy your LearningRx experience? Was it fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Cole, for working so hard for us and then for doing this video.